Joining me today to discuss cybersecurity is Patrick McBride, Chief Marketing Officer of Claroty. Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks, Sid.
You know, as you know very well, in cybersecurity there's lots of different solutions doing lots of different things. So to start this discussion, can you kind of describe where Claroty fits into that, what you do, how you may be different?
Sure. Initially we started off with our continuous threat detection product, and that really provided visibility into and ongoing threat monitoring for industrial environments. And it was really a deep product. It took you from the upper layers of the Purdue model all the way down to the IO layers in terms of visibility into your environment. We had always intended to build out an entire platform, and we're starting to make really good on that promise. So the second product that we announced on top of that platform was our secure remote access, really taking care of one of the most important attack vectors into organizations, unmanaged secure access with vendors and end users coming in remotely. So that was to really lock down and manage those sessions and monitor those sessions so that we knew exactly who was getting access to those assets in any important environment. From there, we actually have added a couple things. We added, the next product was our enterprise management console, which really put a single pane of glass. Many of our customers are large enterprises. They have multiple sites or very large operations, and they want to integrate that all into a single pane of glass. And we've got a couple of announcements we're making actually here at ARC, which is a really great place to make announcements for these kinds of products. We've added most recently something that we're calling security posture analysis. Simply stated, it's ingest PCAP, and we output a very detailed report about the environment, the industrial environment, the assets, the makeups, the communication styles, but most importantly, different issues, different vulnerabilities we find in there. And those are two classes of them. The CVEs, the known vulnerabilities that we see on different devices, we match those up. And then we also provide really information about what I would call network hygiene issues, things that may either interrupt process or give an attacker a foothold onto the network or some way to go laterally. So we provide really detailed information. We've taken that same capability and pulled that into our continuous monitoring product. So now you can get a report, or our continuous monitoring customers can also have that available to them at any time. And then two other things that we've just recently that we're announcing here at the forum is an attack vector analysis. So really an ability to simulate attacks on a particular key asset in your environment and understand the pathways to that, so you can better protect those assets and really prioritize the changes in configuration and security changes you're making. We're really proud of the fact that we're building out not just a single point product, but really an integrated suite of products on a consolidated platform.
I follow the market obviously, and I'm well aware that you've done a lot of partnering with companies. Could you just comment a little bit about your partnering strategy and what you're looking for and how you proceed?
Sure. For us, our customer base, and we're talking about very large industrial companies. So there's two really kind of foundational elements here. Those guys have huge enterprises, large asset bases to protect. So they're counting on somebody who can bring really the services to design the implementation services. So that's one aspect that we're looking for in our partner, our worldwide partner, is to make sure that we've got really the juice that we need to satisfy large enterprises. And also there's a level of market validation. These asset owners are very cautious, appropriately cautious with these environments, and they don't want to put in products or tools that haven't gotten a level of validation from the key industrial environment, the key industrial vendors. And to that end, we built a really interesting list of strategic partners there. So we started off with the Cisco folks years ago. We were the core tech in their managed security services offering. Went on Rockwell Automation and Schneider. Also put us in their lab, tested us against the competition, and selected us to partner with. In fact, Rockwell's building out a set of services there, and we're the only vendor in the Schneider CAP program that does what we do. And most recently, we've added Siemens to the list. So we're very proud we're in their booth here demoing our products. So they went through that same kind of selection process. So it's really important to have that level of validation from those guys.
In my research, it seems to me that the companies are finally starting to appreciate security more. This has been an ongoing thing, as you know, and we've both lived through this. Are you seeing the same thing? More importantly, are they starting to get over the hurdles of funding and things like that for cybersecurity investments?
Yeah, it's uneven, I would say, vertical to vertical, but this market, I've done cyber for over 20 years, and I've really never seen a market take off like this globally. We're seeing really buying and investment pick up not only in North America, but also in Europe and Asia simultaneously. And it used to be more of a, here in the North America, then it would kind of go to Europe and then maybe hit Asia. And that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing budgets open up and investments being made in this technology kind of globally at a very impressive rate.
Our research, one of my little things is, I think you've heard me given my presentations, a lot of companies I deal with, they struggle to sustain their investments. I mean, they'll invest in cybersecurity. Those that do, we have our little industrial cybersecurity model. And I'm just saying, do you see the same thing? And if you do, how does Claroty help them with this?
Yeah, no, very clearly. It's not just paint the yellow line on the sidewalk, kind of a once and done scenario. The threat changes daily and weekly. They can change a whole lot faster, for example, than the standards can change. Years ago, when that was kind of what you were shooting for, to at least be compliant with the standards, you saw that was a way to continue the investment. But now it's really understanding the threat atmosphere and the threat environment that we're working in. We've continued to see a number of threats specifically targeting industrial environments and industrial systems, but also other kinds of threats this year, like WannaCry and Petra, that impacted these environments, even if they didn't target those environments. So our threat research team has been active in monitoring those things and supplying that information. The vulnerabilities have always been there, but the threats haven't been really coming after them until the last bunch of years. And so we've just been educating the market writ large, and then our customers on that changing threat landscape for a while.
Another trend that we see that we're very interested in, it's a big part of our research, is the IT OT convergence. And I'm wondering if you're seeing that again and how Claroty is playing in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think defying the IT OT convergence is a little bit like defying gravity. Their sensors are going in everywhere, new kind of capabilities in the OT network. So the main component of that for us is being able to give the security teams real visibility into those new things showing up on the network as those networks are going through changes and as they're modifying. Give visibility into them. Put that. If those devices are being attacked, we can see anomalous activity with those things on the threat side, and on the vulnerability side, really keeping track of the vulnerabilities to those new devices, and more importantly, potentially the new pathways that these devices open up. If you put a new device on a network, whether it's wireless or wired, it can potentially open up new network configuration issues that sometimes the people implementing them just don't understand. So these new tools that we're providing to show you those pathways and show you those vulnerabilities are a really important part of our suite.
Well, thank you, Patrick. As always, it's always an enjoyable thing to talk with you.
Thanks, Sid. Take care.
And we've been speaking with Patrick McBride, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for Claroty. Thank you for watching.